I'm Nick. I'm the creator of FlorA Plant Care here. It's essentially insurance for your house plants via true automation. A little about me, I'm a journalist by background, but a couple years ago I got really wrapped up in the ability for just about anyone to learn some things, spend some time, use their passion to develop hardware solutions to real problems out there. So that's what I did. I taught myself C to program Arduino specifically. I learned Python to deal with APIs. I learned enough JavaScript to realize I'm not going to be building any apps anytime soon. I learned design for CNC machining and 3D printing to create parts. And then I learned PCB design and more than I ever wanted to know about the electronics supply chain. It's a mess, folks. But while I was learning all this fun stuff, I ran into the problem I wanted to solve. As you've all experienced, dead plants, sad plants, ugly plants, not exactly the ideal interior design motif to have a bunch of dead sticks. I became acutely aware of this when I went on a trip, and I left my girlfriend a long list of plant care instructions for my mini plants. But I forgot a very key piece of advice for a very sensitive fern, and I came back and it was at death's door. Very sad, of course. It was very sitcom as well. I was hugging my girlfriend. "Oh, it's so great to see you, honey," looking over her shoulder at this absolutely mangled plant. We've all been there. But happy ending. I married that woman. She's my wife now. She's great. Thanks. And that plant, that inspiring plant story is thriving today. That's a look at it now. Of course, this is a bigger problem than just my fern or your few dead plants out there. Every dead plant that goes out to someone's house adds tons of carbon to the atmosphere, wastes oceans of water, ends up in landfills, and creates more greenhouse gases. No good. Of course, the plant industry is complicit here. Every doomed plant they sell is a reason to go back, right? So I looked out in the marketplace, and there wasn't a lot that really fit my needs. There was a lot of sensing devices that would give you a lot of data while your plant died. Then there's a lot of these watering gizmos built for greenhouses and pot farmers, not exactly anything you want to put on your shelf. So I got to work with three key ideals in mind: specific care guidance, true automation, and absurd simplicity. As you can see, it's very simple, but I'll start with specific care guidance. Ask 5 people, 5 plant nerds out in the audience here, how to take care of a plant. You're going to get 6 answers. It's ridiculous. There's databases out there for botanists and stuff, but those generally will tell you what a plant wants in its environment, not in your window. So I developed this database with exacting ranges for temperature, humidity, sunlight, as you can see here. Soil moisture, of course. Currently, I have about 150 of the most popular house plants in there. That enables my second ideal, true automation. There's a lot going on in this little box here. There's all those sensors I just mentioned. It checks against the local environment, checks against that database, and will spit out some automated plant care advice. Say your ZZ plant is getting too much sunlight, it might ask you to move it toward the center of the room or into another window. That's very easy. Of course, it does automatic watering. I hope it's blinking right now, but it should be. It'll provide automatic watering exactly the right amount of water when the plant needs. This seems like something you could do with a simple timer, but that's not quite the case. Of course, you have to see what's going on in the soil to register how much water you actually need. And plants like to get their water when they're actively absorbing sunlight. So the ideal time to water an east-facing plant might be just before sunrise. For a west-facing plant, maybe that's 1, 2 p.m. when that sun is coming into the window. I don't know about you, but I'm a big plant geek and I'm not getting up before dawn, or am I going to shift my whole day around the Minnesota sunlight? That's a little crazy. So that's all taken care of. There is a dashboard, of course, for the data nerds to check it out and see their trend lines and what's going on their plant. But I designed it to be very simple. I basically never have to look at this. It sends out push notifications or texts or emails, whatever you desire, to give you that plant advice or tell you that the reservoir is empty. I will quickly show you how easy that is if everything behaves. The green light on the front means it is all good. Oh, blue light means it's watering. It worked. That's fantastic. Very simple. As you can see, one indicator light keeps everything going. Green, good. Blue, watering. Red, bad. Very simple. I want to talk about the absurd simplicity I mentioned. I'm a big fan of these killer Internet of Things products, like the Snoo Bassinet for any parents out there. I know I love that thing. Anyone who's tried the meter thermometer for their grilling, it's a really fantastic product. Makes it very simple. That's what I tried to do here. And it seems to be working great. I have about 5 years of data if you put it all together, and no dead plants yet. The first iteration was built on Arduino, basically a spaghetti of wires and little breakout sensors. This I would call a version 1. Also pretty sketchy. I wouldn't bring it to an airport if I wanted to keep flying. Here is version 2, a little sleeker, a little sexier, but it was designed to be placed into a pot, which I found was pretty clunky because if you have a plant that you want to move with the season or a very small plant, that just won't work. So I integrated it all into the single device here. Very simple. As you can see, on top, I'll try to, well, you can see it. On top is a little dish of rocks that, of course, you all want to show off your pretty rocks, but it also serves as a barrier for debris and sunlight that would promote algae growth. So that's FlorA. Why am I here, though? As might be very clear, I've been building this in my basement and learning as I go, and it's been quite a ride, but I'm looking to take it to market, and I'm looking for collaborators out there. So if you're an app geek that loves plants and wants to build something, or an investor that wants to tap into a $60 billion segment with a new little piece of it, drop me a line. Introverts and virtual folks, you can check out the QR code here. Everyone else, come find me at the bar. I will be the guy with the plant. Thanks, everyone.